Time now for our National Perspective interview presented by Socios.com. And today we have the great pleasure of talking with one of the great draft analysts in the land, Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network, NFL.com. And Daniel, as we get ready here for this combine, a lot of talent at receiver. A lot of people think the Browns looking at receiver. What do you think of this class?
I think it's a great class. I think you could probably cut and paste that line for the next 20 years because every year we're just getting these wide receivers. The college game is doing it. I mean, they're throwing the ball over the place. There's 4 and 5 wideouts. And so not only we have some talent and some depth, we've got a variety. Like, this is a choose-your-flavor wide receiver draft.
All right, let's talk about some of those flavors that are out there. The Browns picking at 13 should have some options there. Garrett Wilson, Burks, London are names that I've heard talked about quite a bit. What do you start with Garrett Wilson? What do you see from the young man from Ohio State?
I think he's the best receiver in the draft. You know, we were talking about it the other day on the podcast with Bucky, and I said he's that ice cream that is everything. Was it Neapolitan or whatever? You got some big guys, you got some small guys, you got some fast guys, you got some quick guys. He can do everything. You know, he's got good play strength for his size. He can play above the rim, down the field. You look at the explosiveness off the line, the route running polish and kind of savvy that he possesses. So to me, I don't know what this kid doesn't have. And I think once he gets out here and works out, I think that was kind of the last remaining question, maybe the pure top speed. I think he'll be plenty fast.
When you have a guy like Wilson and Olave both coming out of Ohio State where you have Brian Hartline, do you see these guys maybe be a little bit more pro-ready than maybe guys from some other schools?
Yeah, when Jameson Williams can't get on the field and has to go transfer to Alabama, it shows you the job that he's done there. No, they're absolutely loaded. I've known Olave and seen him play since he was in high school. He's out from San Diego, you know, where I live, and this kid, from making an impact on special teams early on to being that big, deep threat over the top, he's a clean route runner as well. I just think Garrett Wilson's a little bit stronger, you know, with his play strength, but man, Olave is going to be a great fit for somebody.
All right, if there's been any kind of buzz so far in Indy, Treylon Burks is a guy whose name just keeps coming up.
Big man.
He is a big man, big hands, big athlete. What do you see when you put on the tape of the guy from Arkansas, kind of new at the position, but explosively in the SEC and plays more than 20 yards?
Yeah, he's just very dynamic, and it comes with a combination of the physicality as well as some of that speed. I'm curious to see what he's going to run. I know there's been some talk, is he a 4.3, 4.4 guy? I think he's probably more low 4.5 as a player. But you can't get him on the ground because he's so big and he's so strong. He can play up above the rim with those enormous mitts that he's got and go get the football. He's not asked to run, you know, the variety of routes in that system. You know, Deebo Samuel's kind of the comp that you've heard for him because you can put him in the backfield, you can flip him a reverse, you can throw him a bubble screen, shallow cross. So some of the nuance as a route runner, we don't know. And that's why, like, the combine's a great tool for him, and I'm glad he's going to do everything because we'll get to see him get out there and run routes.
And then there's Drake London, who was so productive at USC, coming off the injury, huge guy. And then, you know, one of those things we keep hearing about contested catches. Some people say it's great, he makes all these contested catches. Other people, well, that means he can't separate. When you put on the tape, what do you see from Drake London?
I'm a big fan. You know, to me, you start with play strength and competitiveness. Like, it's off the charts for this dude. And, you know, I like him kind of as that big slot. He can play out wide, but when he's in there in that slot, you have the opportunity to use him in the run game because he's so physical in that regard. So that's an asset. And then, you know, just walling guys off, using that big frame. He's a basketball player, was playing basketball at USC. He just understands that kind of spatial awareness and how to box guys out and make plays. And then, you know, the ball skills are ridiculous. You know, the Colorado game, if you haven't done it yet, just go YouTube, Drake London, Colorado catches. I promise you will be entertained.
All right, so those are some of the top names. You mentioned Jameson Williams and that injury. We'll see how that affects his draft stock. But if it's not a wide receiver early for the Browns, are there some guys you like maybe later on day 2 or early day 3?
Yeah, I mean, Christian Watson from North Dakota State is a really fun one.
Yeah.
Big and fast. So he'll be a fun one to keep an eye on. Sky Moore is another one from the MAC, who I'm sure if you're a Browns fan, you've stumbled across him at some point in time. He's a little compact, muscled up dude who's just physical and tough and quick. I said he reminded me a little bit of Antonio Brown when Antonio Brown was coming out without all the other stuff. Yeah.
Right. Daniel, thank you so much for the time. Keep up the great work and looking forward to hearing from you in the future.
All right, thank you.